Ladies and gentlemen, success is not something you stumble upon. It's not a lottery ticket. It's a mindset. It's a way of living before the evidence ever shows up in your bank account, your title, or your trophies. I want you to write this down. You don't become successful and then start living like it. You start living like you're successful and then success shows up. Let me ask you a question. How would you walk into a room if you already believed in yourself? How would you treat others if you already felt abundant, not desperate? How would you invest your time if you knew your future was already secured success? Doesn't begin the day you receive a promotion, sign the big contract, or see the money hit your bank account. It begins long before that, in the quiet moments, in your thoughts, in your attitude. Success starts in the mind. It's born from a belief that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that what you desire is within your reach if you are willing to act like the person who deserves it. People often think success is something you chase. They say, when I get the title, then I'll act like a leader. Or once I'm rich, I'll start managing my money well. But that's backward thinking. The truth is, you begin acting like a leader and then you earn the title. You start managing the little money you have wisely, and then you'll be trusted with more. The mindset comes before the results. Every successful person you admire started with a vision of themselves far greater than their current circumstances. They lived with discipline, dressed with pride, and worked with passion even when no one was watching, especially then. That's because they understood this principle: the inner world shapes the outer world. Your mindset is the blueprint. Your reality is the building that follows. You can't wait for proof before you believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself before the proof arrives. This is why people with a poor mindset can win the lottery and still lose everything, because their habits and beliefs weren't prepared to sustain success. And on the flip side, people who have lost everything can rebuild their lives if they maintain the mindset of resilience, focus, and growth. A successful mindset isn't about arrogance or pretending. It's about clarity. It's about living each day with the awareness that how you think determines how you act, and how you act determines what you get. If you believe that your future is valuable, you'll treat today with care. If you see yourself as someone going somewhere important, you won't waste time, and you won't surround yourself with people who do. Jim said, "Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high." That's a mindset statement. It means you choose growth over comfort, preparation over procrastination, and purpose over popularity. When your mind is focused on becoming the person worthy of success, instead of just chasing the results begin to follow naturally. The results are attracted to the person you become. So stop asking, "When will I get there?" and start asking, "Who must I become to deserve it?" That's the true beginning of success, and it happens long before the world claps for you. It happens the moment you decide to think differently, live intentionally, and carry yourself like someone who's already on the path. If you want to create a life far beyond where you are now, you have to stop making decisions based solely on your current circumstances. Too often, people live trapped by what they can see, what they have, and what they believe is possible today. But the key to real transformation is learning to act from your vision, not your situation. The future you want won't arrive by reacting to your present limits. It will be built by you stepping into the mindset, habits, and standards of your future self. Imagine the person you want to become 5 years from now. Picture how they walk, how they speak, how they spend their time, how they treat people, and how they respond under pressure. Now ask yourself, what would that version of me do today? That question is powerful because it removes you from the trap of survival thinking and puts you into creation mode. It shifts your identity from being a product of the past to being a builder of the future. The present version of you may feel uncertain, underqualified, or overwhelmed, but the future you, the one you're becoming, is decisive, disciplined, and prepared. If you always act based on what your current self feels like doing, you'll keep creating more of the same. But when you start acting like your future self, you begin to bridge the gap between where you are and where you're going. This doesn't mean pretending. It means aligning your actions with your aspirations. It means showing up to your day with purpose, dressing like you respect your goals, and speaking as someone who believes in their destiny, not their doubt. Small shifts in posture, tone, and intent can start changing the way others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Many people wait for success to give them permission to act successful, but true growth works in reverse. You act successful first, and success begins to respond. You invest in learning even if no one is watching. You wake up early even if the results aren't immediate. You speak confidently even if your voice shakes a little. Why? Because you're not acting from where you are. You're acting from where you're going. When you lead with vision, the details start to organize themselves around you, new habits form, better decisions happen, people notice your shift in energy and commitment, and over time, reality catches up with the identity you've already embraced. So stop asking if you're there yet. Start asking, what would the best version of me do in this moment? Live into that answer. Build that reputation. Make that choice. Because the life you want is not waiting for you in the future. It's waiting for you to act like you already belong there. Success is rarely the result of one massive action. More often, it's the outcome of countless small disciplines practiced consistently over time. Most people underestimate the power of the small. They think success must be dramatic, huge sacrifices, big leaps, or sudden breakthroughs. But in reality, greatness is built one decision, one habit, and one act of discipline at a time. You don't become healthy because you go to the gym for 8 hours one day. You get healthy because you work out 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, over months or years. You don't become financially free because of one lucky deal. You achieve freedom because you budgeted, saved, and invested wisely, often in amounts so small they seemed insignificant at the time. These little efforts, repeated daily, are the seeds of big results. Discipline is doing what you should do, even when you don't feel like it. It's not flashy, it doesn't get applause, but it's where your power lies. It's in choosing to read for 20 minutes instead of scrolling on your phone. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term fulfillment. The danger is that the opposite is also true. Just as small disciplines create big rewards, small neglects lead to major losses. Skipping the workout once doesn't seem like much, but skip it enough times and your energy declines. Ignoring your budget 1 month won't ruin you, but do it repeatedly and you'll wonder where your money went. Success and failure both sneak up on you, driven by small, repeated behaviors. That's why it's so important to respect the process. People give up not because the goal is impossible, but because they don't see instant progress. They quit because the results don't come fast enough. But discipline is not about speed, it's about direction. It's about choosing growth, even when the outcome is still invisible. Jim said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." The good news is, this puts success within reach of everyone. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to have more talent, better connections, or perfect timing. What you need is the will to show up every day, to do the little things that build a life of meaning, purpose, and value. Small disciplines create momentum, and momentum is powerful. Once it's rolling, it's hard to stop. One good decision leads to another. One positive habit attracts more. Before you know it, you've created a new identity, someone who follows through, who gets better, who doesn't quit. So don't look for the big moment. Look for the small opportunity. Today, right now, the decision you make in the next hour may not change your life tomorrow, but repeated 100 times, it absolutely will. Opportunity doesn't always knock when you expect it, but it does come, often without warning. The mistake most people make is waiting to prepare until the opportunity arrives, but by the time it does, it's too late. The truth is, you don't rise to the level of your hopes, you fall to the level of your preparation. If you want to succeed when the moment comes, you must prepare as if that moment is inevitable. Imagine training for a race that hasn't been announced yet. You get up early, you run daily, you eat well. You stay focused. Most people would say, why are you doing all that when there's no race? But you're not training for a date. You're training for readiness. And when the race is finally announced, you won't be scrambling to catch up. You'll simply show up already in motion. That's how you must approach your dreams. Whether it's a business opportunity, a relationship, a career shift, or a creative project. Don't wait for the green light. Prepare in advance. Learn the skills now. Practice the craft today. Organize your resources. Sharpen your message. Refine your process. The person who prepares early will always outperform the one who waits for ideal timing. Preparation is a declaration of belief. It says, I expect something good to happen. I believe in my vision enough to act before the evidence shows up. This mindset separates the dreamers from the doers. While others wait for signs, you build systems. While they hope for luck, you build capacity. Preparation gives you an edge, not just in ability, but in confidence. People often say they're waiting for their big break, but opportunity rarely announces itself. It usually shows up looking like hard work, or an unexpected phone call, or a chance to step up when no one else volunteers. The only way to seize those moments is to be ready for them, to have already done the work when no one was watching. Jim once said, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. That means your job is to stay ready. If the stage appeared tomorrow, would you be able to deliver? If the investor called next week, would your pitch be clear? If the position opened today, would your resume reflect who you really are? The world rewards those who act like success is not a matter of if, but when. That doesn't mean you rush or force things. It means you keep your tools sharp, your mindset clear, and your routine disciplined. You show up each day not because something is promised, but because you've decided to be ready, no matter when it comes. Preparing as if opportunity is inevitable transforms you. It shapes your habits, elevates your standards, and builds your identity. And in doing so, it makes the opportunity not just possible, but inevitable fear is a master of disguise. It wears the face of hesitation, perfectionism, overthinking, and even logic. It convinces you to wait until you're more ready, until things feel right, or until the timing is better. But the truth is, waiting rarely leads to growth. It leads to stagnation. What separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck isn't more talent or opportunity. It's action rooted in faith, faith in what's possible, faith in the vision, faith in yourself, even if that belief is still shaky. Faith in action beats fear in waiting every single time. Faith isn't just a feeling, it's a decision. It's the choice to move even when the outcome is unclear. It's sending the email, making the call, showing up, saying yes, even when you're unsure what will happen next. While fear tries to convince you that you'll fail, faith says, try anyway. Because faith isn't about guarantees, it's about courage. It's about putting yourself in motion while trusting that clarity will come on the journey, not before it begins. Waiting, on the other hand, is a silent thief. It steals opportunities while convincing you that you're being smart or cautious. But waiting for the perfect time is like waiting for the tide to stop. Life doesn't stop moving. Opportunities don't wait for your fear to subside. They pass by those who hesitate and reward those who are willing to take the first step, even in the dark. Faith-filled action isn't reckless. It's intentional. It's knowing that growth only comes from doing, not just dreaming. You may not feel confident, but you take the next step anyway. You may not have the full plan, but you act on what you know today. And as you act, your courage grows, your path clears, and your momentum builds. Jim taught that you don't need to be extraordinary to start. You just need a willingness to move. A person in motion is powerful. Action breeds clarity. Effort builds belief. Every small step forward weakens fear's grip and strengthens your sense of agency. You start to realize you're more capable than you thought, not because someone told you so, but because you've proven it to yourself through action. Those who act in faith become leaders, not because they're fearless, but because they've learned to move despite the fear. They gain experience while others are still planning. They build skills while others are still doubting. They grow into the person their dream requires, one step at a time. If you're waiting for confidence to come before you act, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. The bridge from where you are to where you want to be is built not with certainty, but with movement. So take the step, make the call, write the words, speak the idea. Go where you feel called to go. As we wrap up today, I want to remind you of something incredibly important. Success is not reserved for a lucky few. It's built by the choices we make every day. The choices to think differently, to act boldly, and to keep going even when the path isn't clear. Remember, success doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It's about living as though you're already successful, preparing for opportunities before they come, and having the faith to take action even when fear tells you to wait. It's the small, consistent disciplines, the mindset, and the actions you take every day that create the life you want. So, don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the right circumstances. Act like your future self today. Prepare like your opportunity is right around the corner. And above all, have the faith to move forward, even when the world is telling you to stay still. The only question left for you is this: who are you willing to become to make your dreams a reality? Because the truth is, your success is already within your reach. All it takes is for you to step into it. So start today, live today, and as you do, remember this: you are capable, you are deserving, and you are already on your way. Thank you.